2.5, the rules of exponents. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to laugh at me, and you're going to say I'm stupid, but that's okay. Okay? When we are talking about the rules of exponents, here's what you have to remember. When you are doing exponents, everything revolves around the base. It's literally
all about
the base.
All about that base.
Okay? So listen, when you're looking at it, if the base is not the same, I can't do stuff with it at that point. If it's variables. If it's numbers, I can do stuff because numbers can be, they have answers, right? But if it is variables like x and y, I cannot combine those. Okay? So, the base in this case, like on this, A is the base of this, and then this is considered my exponent. Okay, when you are multiplying, listen, there are just a few simple rules. Very easy. When you are multiplying exponents together, something with exponents together, if they have the same base, when I multiply, I add the exponents. So multiplication equals addition.
Yes.
Just for the exponents. So the base stays the same. So if I have a to the m times a to the n, what I get is a to the m plus n. So if I have 4 cubed, okay? So if I have 4 cubed,
but we're not. So
yes, you're not solving all the way out.
Okay.
Yes. Wait. So listen, here I have the same bases. I have 4s, right?
Yeah.
This one's 4 cubed. This one's 4 squared. Since they're being multiplied together, I end up getting 4 to the 3 plus 2. So I get 4 to the 5th. What?
Wait, since you're multiplying 4 by 4, like, you get equal to exponent? What if it's 16?
Exactly. Why?
Exactly.
No.
So the base
How?
is the same when they're the same.
Witchcraft. I want answers.
I would love to give them to you if you're willing to listen. Okay, because the bases are the same, what happens is, okay, you're right by saying 4 times 4 is 16. But 4 times 4 is also 4 squared. 4 squared is also 16, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here I have this.
I need fresh.
Hey, guys,
Wait, so what?
stop talking and you'll be able to understand. 4 cubed can be represented by 4 times 4 times 4, yes?
Yes.
4 squared can be represented by 4 times 4. Okay? What they're saying is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. 4 to the 5th. They don't want it the full answer yet. Okay? Yet.
As you mean, like, not today.
Not today. Maybe in the future we'll get there, but right now, when it says simplify this exponent or unless it says solve, I don't want an actual number as my answer. I want it in exponential form still.
What about, like, RB over there? What
We'll get there. Calm down. We'll get there.
So right now
Mhm.
we're just figuring out what the total exponent base
Correct.
thing is.
I just want to know how many sets of 4 are really there. There are 5.
And
Okay?
you don't have to
And I don't have to do anything else. Okay? Unless it said evaluate, that's when it wants you to put 4 to the 5th in your calculator and tell me what it is. Okay? Right now, it's giving us directions that say stuff like simplify or multiply the powers together, things like that. Okay? Or it's saying use the product of powers property. That's what this is called, the product of powers property. When it says that, it still wants it in the power form. Okay? This is as far as I take it. Boom. Okay? We'll look at a word problem, then we'll talk about all these other examples in a second. Okay. Lake Powell, the reservoir behind the Glen Canyon Dam in Arizona, can hold about 10 to the 12th cubic feet of water when full. There are about 10 to the 27th water molecules in 1 cubic foot of water. About how many water molecules can the reservoir hold? What would I do, Carter?
I think you would multiply 10 to the 12.
Uh-huh. That's exactly what
That's
I
what I
would
was going to say.
Yes.
Great minds think alike, Carter.
Yes. You would multiply 10 to the 12th times 10 to the 27th. And what would you end up getting?
10 to 39. 10 to 39. 10 to 39.
10 to the 39. Because I add 27 and I add 12 together.
Forget about
That's all
that.
you have to do right now.
That is so easy.
Okay. Now,
This won't be on the quiz,
This won't be on this quiz. We'll have
Yeah.
another quiz over this
Where's the
later.
quiz
How many
tomorrow?
questions?
Tomorrow.
Quiz?
I don't know. Okay. Now look, I have 4 more pretty simple ones. What is x to the 6th times x to the 9th?
X.
X
X
to
to
the height.
X to the bro.
Okay, let's talk about this. Talk to me about this. Stop. You need, no, stop. Okay, let's talk about 3x times 5x to the 5th. Now, think of it this way. When I have numbers in front of my variables, all I simply do is multiply those numbers together when it's multiplication. So start with 3 times 5.
50 to the
50 to the power. And then x is to what power?
Fifth.
No, it's not.
Six.
6, because what is always here?
Invisible one.
An invisible 1. Okay?
I don't remember
When
that.
there's just an X, there's always like a little 1.
There's always a 1. You can't have an x without it having a power. Okay? I can't have a number without it having a power. If I have the number 3, it technically is to the first power. Every single thing.
Yeah, I still don't get this.
Okay, Kate, you want to do the next one?
I have a question.
It's what?
Question.
It's a to
I have
the
a question.
Okay, just a second, Jacob. Okay, what's your question, Jacob?
So, for
Guys,
me,
stop, focus.
so like,
Mhm.
what?
Why what?
What if by adding like a 6 kind of mess it up? Cause
No.
like, what?
There's technically a 1 right here.
So Jacob, whenever there's just a plain number, it's always.
Yeah, there's always a 1. And so
There's no
anytime,
Family Feud sign. What you mean?
stop. So anytime there is a plain x, a plain y, whatever, there's always a 1 there. Okay?
3 plus 6.
Yes, plus 6 to the first power, which is crazy. So technically there's always that invisible 1. So you have to remember that when you're multiplying them together.
So it's kind of like how there's always a 1 in front of like if it's like just X.
Right. It's kind of like how when I do, yes, it's kind of like there's always that placeholder of 1 in front of my variable. What, Carter? Okay, let's talk about, no. Jason, you need to turn around.
Yo, put the marks
Yeah, put those back over there. You don't even need them. Thank you.
I
Okay, the last one, I have 2 into the 11th times 6 into the 8th. What do I do first? Multiply the numbers. What's 2 times 6? 12.
12 and
Now.
the 19.
Into the 11th and into the 8th gives me into the 19th.
Well,
Emmanuel, I'm going to mark your card if you continue to make those loud
That
noises.
wasn't me. That was Jason.
It was me.
That was not me.
Okay, then the next person to make a high-pitched noise like that gets their card marked. How's that? We'll just be
Why did it
fair.
sound exactly like you, baby?
Okay, now, let's talk about this. There's another rule, okay? So that's the rule of multiplication. When I have powers and I'm multiplying things together, the bases are the same, I add my powers. When I have division and the bases are the same, I subtract my powers. Okay? Multiplication equals addition, division equals subtraction. Question.
So you said you subtract, is it always like the top minus the bottom?
Yes, always. So if I have a to the m divided by a to the n, that means I have a to the m minus
That
n.
makes sense.
that makes
If
no
I
sense.
have 6 to the 8
Don't make any
over
sense.
6 to the 5th, I have 6 to the 8 minus 5, which equals 6 cubed. Always subtract when it's division.
I don't know.
Always add when it's multiplication. What?
How come you
No, stop.
multiply the 6 and the 2? On
Because
those ones?
you can multiply numbers together, so I multiply them together. You just do normal math when it's numbers.
Why didn't you do it for those?
For which ones? Because over here they're the same base, so I don't multiply them together. I represented it with this 5. There are 5 units of that.
Math confused Marshall, we know.
Okay?
I don't know.
Math.
Okay, so look at this one. I have 7 to the 6th over 7 squared. Corey, what would I do? Yeah, Corey.
I know.
I'm asking Corey.
You called you
Corey, talk to me here. How does this compare to this right here? It's division. They're both division. No, listen, I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm going to help you. Okay? Here is this problem that says 6 to the 8 divided by Jason. Turn all the way around. I don't want to see your head looking that way one more time, period. Or it's gonna be a card mark. Marshall, don't talk to him. Period. Or it's a card mark. Okay. Corey, look. I have 6 to the 8th here. I have 6 to the 5th here. So because I'm dividing, I subtract the powers. Over here, are these bases the same? Yes. I have 7 to the 6th. I have 7 squared. Am I dividing? So what am I going to do with those powers? So 6 minus 2 is what? So I get 7 to the 4th. Okay. Okay, question, Jacob.
Are we subtracting the bigger number by a smaller number or the numerator
Okay.
by the denominator?
That's a good question. You are subtracting the numerator by the denominator. So would it be possible that I get a negative exponent?
Yes.
So that would be right. So we'll talk about that later because later we're going to get into harder stuff where we don't want negative exponents. But for now, we're going to accept them and move on from there. Does that make sense?
I
Okay.
see.
We'll get to that. Yes, we'll get to that definitely later. Okay, so let's talk about 4x to the 8th.
Can I try?
Okay, now listen. Yes. Emma, do you want to try this one? What do you think we do with 4 and 10?
Subtract 4 minus.
No, I don't subtract 4 minus 10.
Divide.
I do what? I simplify. Can 4 and 10 be reduced? 2 over 5. So when I'm dividing, it's the same as when I'm over here multiplying. Okay, when I multiply my numbers, yes? When I divide, I'm dividing my numbers. So I'm dividing them out or I'm simplifying depending on which one it is. Like if this said 16 and this said 4, I would just get 4, right? Because 16 divided by 4 is 4. But because this is 4/10, I get 2/5. Yes. Yes. Now, what is x to the 8th over x squared going to come out to be? X to the 6th. So the way we're going to represent this is we're going to write it as a fraction and then x to the 6th. Does that make sense? That's it. Okay? You could write it this way too. Your book might show you this way. It might show you 2x to the 6th over 5. Either is acceptable.
Does it matter if it's on the bottom?
It does matter. It has to go on the top because remember I subtracted the top minus the bottom. So the exponent, if you write it in the fraction form, has to go on the top. Here, it's saying 2/5 times x to the 6th. Here, it's still saying 2/5 times x to the 6th. That's why when it's on top, it's saying times, okay? How do I do C? 12 n to the 5th over 8n squared. Jason, you want to take a shot? Okay, what's 12 over 8 simplified? What goes into both 12 and 8?
4.
4. Yeah, 4. What's 12 divided by 4?
3.
And what is 8 divided by 4?
2.
Okay? N to the 5th over n squared. What do you get? Yep, you get n cubed.
Good job. What did you?
We're
Yes.
so smart.
When it
Like,
was.
since you simplified it and you got 3 over 2, couldn't you like make it like 1 and 1?
You could, yes.
But you don't have to.
But you don't have to. They're just letting this be the simple reduced answer. Honestly, if you leave things in fractions, it's going to work out better later on. Okay? For when we go deeper into this. Okay. Now, here's something. Remember, when it says simplify, are we getting an answer? No. We're just reducing down as far as we can. Okay? So there are ones. Do you see how these just say simplify, and they have different things going on. Now, let me tell you a trick about this. Okay? If I have something like 3m to the 5th times m squared up top over 6m cubed, let's go ahead and only make that like one step instead of like 2 or 3.
The spinny thing is gone.
Okay, I'll find it later. I don't know where it's at. Sit down. I'll take care of
Your
it.
pencil's staying broke.
Do you need a pencil? Here. Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Do you see how this says cubed right there? Okay? This says 5 and this says 2. So how many total up top do I have?
7. So
And-
it would be 7.
Yes, so it would be 7 minus 3.
Thank you.
Okay, so up top I have this. I have 3m to the 7th. Okay? This marker's not working well. I have 3m to the 7th over 6m cubed. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I do from there?
Would you simplify
Minus 7.
No.
Oh, wait, no,
You
no.
make it 1/2.
Simplify.
That's
One half.
1/2.
1/2. And then m to
7.
the
And
to the 4?
4.
boom.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
my
buddy.
simplified answer.
I like this.
Ah.
You like this
Can
one?
we just rewrite this?
Okay, look down here. I have 13 b to the 4th times b to the 4th over b. Okay, Carter.
You would add, so it's gonna be, e to the 8.
Good over
Oh,
b, right? So then what happens there? Does anything happen with 13? So I just keep 13 because there's nothing to reduce it.
Is it gonna be b to the 7th?
It is going to be b to the 7th. There's your reduced answer, your simplified answer. Okay? This is what you're working on tonight on your homework, 4.5. Okay? Powers of exponents. I love powers of exponents. I think it will be much easier. Okay?
I'm a fail.
But also for me tonight, don't forget that your quiz is over 4.1 through 4.4. Double check least common multiple for me tonight, okay? Because everything else I think you've done fine on.
So it's not on it? Hey. If it was, I would have failed. Bad thing.
What page is it on?